Now, WHO has upgraded the risk of COVID-19 from high to very high, saying the continued increase in cases in countries affected is clearly of concern. During a press briefing in Geneva, Switzerland, Director General of the World Body, Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, said more than 20 vaccines are currently being developed against the new coronavirus, with the first results of tests expected in the next few weeks. The WHO's Director of Health Emergencies, Dr. Mike Ryan, explains that it would be unhelpful to declare a pandemic when the world is still trying to contain the virus. Now here's Juliana Olainka with more international stories and around the world in 5.
Good evening from the Channel's newsroom in London. The coronavirus outbreak has sparked major global concern over the past 24 hours, as more than a dozen countries have recorded their first confirmed cases, and the world's leading health official has warned of a coming pandemic. More than 83,000 people in at least 53 countries have been infected. More new cases have been recently reported outside China than within the country. First cases have been confirmed in Belarus, New Zealand and Nigeria, the first infection in sub-Saharan Africa. Japan has closed its schools for at least a month. Iran cancelled Friday prayers in major cities, and Saudi Arabia has barred pilgrims from its holiest sites. In mainland Europe, the focus appears to have shifted away from Italy to Germany. The country has over 30 confirmed cases. Thousands are in quarantine. Investors have become even more concerned about the potential harm to worldwide economic growth. US and Asian markets have tumbled this week, with stock markets in Britain, Germany and France falling by more than 3%. Fierce fighting has erupted in Syria between Russian-backed government forces and Syrian rebels backed by Turkey. Diplomatic relations between Moscow and Ankara have intensified after fierce clashes on Thursday led to the killing of 33 Turkish soldiers. In response to the assault, a Turkish official declared that the country's borders had been thrown open, causing alarm in Europe over the prospect of a new migration crisis. Since 2016, Europe has relied on Turkey to halt Syrian refugees.
When it comes to information or speculation about migrant movements in Turkey, I would like to stress that there was no official announcement from the Turkish side about any changes in their asylum seeker, refugee or migrant policy. So from our point of view, the EU-Turkey statement, which was conceived in order to manage the irregular migration, this statement still stands, and we expect Turkey to uphold its commitments stemming from this statement. And the Turkish authorities officially confirmed that there is no change in the official policy, no change in official position, and we expect that it will stay so and that Turkey will continue to deliver on the commitments stemming from the EU-Turkey statement.
Thursday's attack is the deadliest suffered by the Turkish army in nearly 30 years. Turkish financial markets plunged over the prospect of the country being taken further into a new escalation of the 9-year-old war across the border in Syria. A constitutional referendum is taking place in Guinea on Sunday. The result could allow 81-year-old President Alpha Condé to stay in power for up to 12 more years. The proposed reforms have sparked global condemnation. Protests organised by Condé's opponents against the new constitution have resulted in at least 30 deaths, with each side blaming the other for the violence. The opposition is boycotting the referendum, and the legislative elections has vowed to prevent voting from taking place. South Africa's Economic Freedom Party have led a protest in South Africa to demonstrate against power cuts. Last year, President Cyril Ramaphosa announced that the nation's power utility company Eskom would be split into units for generation, transmission and distribution, which has led to severe nationwide power cuts. Several thousands of people across the English city of Bristol have attended a rally hosted by the teenage climate activist Greta Thunberg. During the march, Thunberg reiterated her stance that politicians across the world are not doing enough to tackle the climate emergency. A British court has ruled that 2 judgments in the legal battle between Dubai's ruler Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum and his former wife Princess Haya bint Al Hussein over the wardship of their 2 children should be made public. The 3 Court of Appeal judges refused permission for Mohammed's legal team to appeal to the Supreme Court, saying their reasons would be given next week. Haya, who is the half-sister of King Abdullah II of Jordan and is Sheikh Mohammed's sixth wife, claims to have fled Dubai with their 2 children in fear of her life after becoming estranged from her husband. And finally, British royalty recreating a scene made famous by pop royalty. In one of his last engagements as a senior member of the royal family, Britain's Prince Harry visited Abbey Road Studios in London to meet singer Jon Bon Jovi and members of a military veterans choir. Inside the studio, Harry and the Invictus Games Choir joined the US rock star to re-record his song Unbroken. Before leaving, the Prince stopped on the iconic Abbey Road Zebra crossing and recreated the Beatles' famous album cover with Bon Jovi and 2 members of the choir. And that's your international news around the world in 5.
Thank you, Juliana. Let's bring you some sports news now. Here's Ayotunde Balogun.
Thank you so much, Millicent. It's good news from Tunisia at the ongoing table tennis Olympic qualifying tournament, as Nigeria's Olufunke Oshonake, Ofyong Edem and Omotayo Olajide have all secured tickets to the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. Edem was the first Nigerian to qualify when she beat Gulti Mata of Ethiopia 4-0 in her first game and followed it up with a 4-3 victory over home girl Garci Fadwa. Oshonake becomes the first African woman in any sport to qualify for 7 Olympic Games when she defeated Cameroon's Sarah Hamfou 4-1 to record her second win. Olajide defeated Algeria's Larbi Bouria 4-0. Africa's highest African-ranked player, Aaron Okodri, will now bank on his current ranking to qualify for the Olympics as he pulled out of his game owing to a thigh injury. Super Eagles assistant coach Joseph Yobo is looking forward to the challenge ahead after joining the national team coaching crew. Yobo was appointed by the Nigeria Football Federation as replacement for Imama Amapakabo and is expected to work with coach Gennett Roa as third in command. Having served as Eagles captain for many years and won trophies, Yobo says he's determined to leave another legacy as coach. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp does not believe the English Premier League has lost its competitiveness this season and anticipates a hard match when his team visit Watford tomorrow. The Merseyside Giants, who are chasing their 19th consecutive top-flight victory at Vicarage Road, are currently 22 points clear at the top of the table. For the second straight year, Stefanos Tsitsipas has booked his place in the Dubai Tennis Championships final just 5 days after lifting the Open 13 Province Trophy in Marseille. The world number 6 won 90% of first serve points and did not face a break point on his way to beating Daniel Evans 6-2, 6-3 after 81 minutes. Tsitsipas has lost just one of the 17 sets he has contested since arriving in Marseille last week. And that sports news is back to Millicent for the wrap.
Thank you, AY. And the main news again. The Federal Ministry of Health today confirmed the first case of the new coronavirus in Nigeria, a yet-to-be-named Italian national. The federal government is asking Nigerians to step up hygiene levels to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Also today, the Lagos state government pledged adequate preparedness to prevent spread of disease as it began contact tracing of potential suspected cases. Neighboring Ogun State confirmed it had traced 28 contacts. And the World Health Organization today upgraded the coronavirus risk to highest level, insisting that containment of the disease is still possible. Remember, channelstelevision.com has all the information that you need. Many thanks for watching. I'm Millicent Nwaka. Have a great weekend.